Hey! Didn't see you guys there. Nice of you to join me. This is CityChef Boy, second episode here. We're gonna get started with a shrimp lo mein. Now what's really fun about this is it's quick and it's easy. Last week we had that 4th of July special and we had so much stuff. We had collard greens, potato salad, chicken, we had bacon wrapped hot dogs, we had deviled eggs. We went in last week, but this week we're gonna keep it cool, we're gonna keep it real casual and do some shrimp lo mein. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, to start out, I have some vegetables here that are pre-chopped. I have some mushrooms, I have onions, and fresh garlic. You know I like to keep it real in the kitchen. So we're gonna go ahead and start. Just gonna go and chop up a few more of these mushrooms. As you can see, I already chopped up a few. Then I'll go ahead and grab my fresh garlic here. Now the good thing about the garlic is as you cook it, it starts to kind of liquefy itself, it disappears. So you won't have those big old chunky pieces of garlic in your food. And here I only actually grabbed a clove and basically used about half of it. I didn't try to use a whole thing because garlic can be overbearing. Now, over on the stove, I also started some hot water. I preheated that so that we can cook our noodles in it and get those ready so that we can put those in. Now, I had a little trouble at the store because lo mein noodles are generally the big, huge ones. However, I wasn't able to find those, so I got egg noodles, which the recipe that I looked at, you can also use too. So, again, as I normally say, it's in your discretion. So I'm going to go ahead and finish chopping these up. Because the onions, of course, as we know, are going to give a flavor regardless of them being cooked or not. But since they're going to be sauteed, it's even better. Because then you can actually eat your onions with your food. I don't think anybody likes raw onions. Now, I took the liberty of going to the store and getting the over-the-counter shrimp. You can use bagged shrimp, however, I actually really like fresh shrimp. Now, the good thing about this is it's already pre-cooked, the tail is off, and I'm just gonna put it in this pan. And I like to clean all of my meat. And here I've got some fresh snow peas that I'm gonna go ahead and throw in there and saute as well. And I have that season mix that I used last week that I told you was good for 3 months. 1/3 cup of oyster sauce and 1/3 cup of soy sauce. I did go ahead and make a separate one, a small one, just because sometimes you may want a little bit more sauce than what is called for in the recipe. So I'm gonna set this aside. I'm gonna take here, I have about 4 tablespoons of butter. I'm gonna take this with my knife, go over here, just stick it in the pan. Get that going. And then I'll go ahead and just start out with my vegetables that I have chopped up here. Just gonna pick up my whole chopping board and go over here. We're gonna grab our shrimp, grab the seasoning mix as well. And we're gonna come over and you're gonna want your vegetables and your onions, your mushrooms, and your garlic to just cook a little bit. Not obviously completely cooked because we need that butter to be inside of the shrimp. That's what gives it a really good flavor. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add that. Now the good thing is that no matter what happens, your shrimp is already cooked, so you don't have to worry about saying, is my shrimp done, when is it going to be done? Although, for the record, fish cooks really fast, so you don't have to worry about that. Now, I'm going to just take some sprinkles of my seasoning mix. Just let that sit. I have a top here that I'm going to sit on there, let it sit for a few minutes, and it looks like my water is boiling pretty hefty. So, I'm going to go ahead and add some egg noodles. Now, this is about 10 ounces of egg noodles. So, the bag was 12 ounces. I just kind of eyeballed it and made it to what I wanted. because I only have a pound of shrimp and I think 12 or 13 ounces of egg noodles is too much. All right. So after you get that in there, let that sit for a few minutes. Bring back over here, and remember I mentioned these. Now, I didn't put these in yet because I do still kind of like these hard and not so much of overcooked to where they just tear apart. So it's at your discretion. Some people like them undercooked. When you go to Chinese restaurants, they generally throw them on last. They don't actually add them just yet. So I'm gonna go ahead and just come over here. See how this is doing? It's doing okay. Now, your egg noodles, you don't have to leave in there for too long. I just want to stick it in there so that it's not taking forever to cook. Now, I haven't left this on here for very long, probably about 4 minutes, and they're already completely soft. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove them. I'm going to come over here. We're going to add that to your mixture. All right. Now, I didn't remove the butter or anything because butter has a really good flavor. All the seasonings, everything that we put in there is still cooking within the shrimp and all of the veggies and everything that we have. So I'm going to go ahead and add this now, which is our sugar snow peas. Remember this mix I mentioned, the 1/3 cup of soy sauce and the 1/3 cup of oyster sauce. This, my lovely viewers, is going to go inside of our, I keep wanting to call it pasta, but it's going to go inside of our little lo mein dish. Now this dish will have you thinking that you're doing something in the kitchen. Don't fool yourself. Just mix it up with the salt. Just gonna give it a little bit more flavor, just gonna give it a little bit more zest. You're gonna get all of your flavors mixed in, especially when you cover it and you let the humidity just set in it for a few minutes. I'll turn it down just a little bit. Now, the fun thing is we're almost done. Something that I do with this, like I said, I got it out of a cookbook, but I do add a few ingredients. Like I used onions and mushrooms, and I used a little bit more product of the soy sauce and oyster sauce than you're supposed to. But I like to add a little bit of oil. We're gonna go ahead and check on our shrimp lo mein here. As you can see, everything is cooking really good. Now, when you guys come back, I'm gonna go ahead and get this put onto a bowl and onto a plate and present it to you and let you see how it came out. Stay tuned. Welcome back. It looks like we got everything finished. I went on and got everything on the plate. Got this shrimp lo mein. It looks amazing. As you can see, we've got our snow peas, we've got shrimp, we've got the noodles, and we don't have any sign of really any of the vegetables that were cooked. They kind of cooked down, like I said, which is perfect. And as you can see here, looks really, really good. Got all of our veggies in there. Just perfect. Alright, well, thank you guys for tuning in to episode 2 of Sin City Chef Boy. Catch me next week. I'm going to be doing a dessert. It's going to be super delicious. I forgot to say thank you guys for joining. Started stuffing my face. It's actually really good. I do want to thank you for joining me for the second episode. I really appreciate all of the positive feedback that I got for the first episode. Like I said in the first one, we're expanding, growing, I'm learning new things, and I'm excited to take you guys on that journey with me. Now, if you tune in after this, I'm just going to leave the ingredients for you guys so that you guys can copy them down and use them yourself. I also just want to mention that the date for Spilling the Tea with Georgie Boy will be August 6th, so it's going to be really exciting. There's going to be a lot of different hot topics, gossip, juicy celeb gossip, and even a few guest stars. So catch me next week for Sin City Chef Boy, episode